We were supposed to play lovers, and so I just wanted to establish a physical intimacy right away, and he got embarrassed.
And Kevin was always good with one-liners for women. You know, he's always very good at picking up women or talking to them and everything. But he was stumped. And I remember standing on the set, and he turned to me and said, "Michael, give me a hand here." You know, because he told me before, and he thought she was so beautiful, and I just said, "This is, it's your deal, buddy."
Something about her hit me right away. I moved in right away. I looked at her and I said, "So, married?" She's like, "No."
He goes, "Are you engaged?" And I thought, okay, either this guy is like really smooth, or he's serious. And I didn't know which was scarier at that point.
Boyfriend? No. And I'm like, "Well, how are we going to do this?" She's looking at me like, "Do what?" We got this small water hazard between us called the Pacific Ocean, so how are we going to make this work out?
And I'm like, "Work what out? What are you talking about?"
I'm talking kids, family, and everything to her. She thought I was just insane.
I said, "Look, okay, I don't date actors. I don't date guys with long hair. That's like a general rule of mine. And I don't date you."
I knew within 2 weeks that this is the woman I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. I knew it. Might have taken her just a little bit longer, but I was pretty persistent.
The two became inseparable, and Sam moved from Los Angeles to New Zealand. In 1997, Kevin played another sword and sorcery hero called the Conqueror, this time on the big screen.
I mean, this was the prequel to Conan the Barbarian. I got to play Arnold's father. That's kind of a neat experience.
Although the film enjoyed only moderate success, Kevin loved working with old friend Tia Carrere.
So it's nice coming back around and going, "Hey, congratulations, congratulations," back, and you sort of like, puff yourself up and go, "Yeah, we're doing okay. This isn't too bad."
Coming up, Kevin finds out he is not superhuman.
I mean, my life flashed before my eyes, but I don't know if on one hand I was calm thinking, well, this is how I was going to die.
By 1997, Kevin Sorbo was a television action star as the superhuman Hercules. But after 3 years, the physical strain of doing the show had an effect on Kevin.
I had sensations in my left fingers. They were ice cold for about 3-4 weeks. Just ice cold, and I had tingling sensations going on my left arm for a long time, and I sort of ignored it. I was almost 39 years old and still living life like a 24-year-old in terms of just go, go, go. My physicality, the degree of conditioning I was in, and thinking that I was invincible.
Kevin went to see his doctor and received startling news.
My left arm was turning blue. I had an aneurysm that exploded in my left shoulder. And I had hundreds of blood clots all in my left arm, which I almost lost my left arm.
Kevin was immediately admitted to a hospital in Los Angeles.
And the procedure that they put me through was an angiogram where they went up through the groin. They go through your heart, which is another tough little thing in itself. They pump a bunch of dye into you to check out to see exactly what they're going after and what's going on.
Kevin's condition quickly deteriorated, and the 39-year-old actor was placed in intensive care.
They had to do quick surgery where they had to seal off the aneurysm, which had popped.
The intensive care nurse, totally wigging out, saying, "We're going to lose him, we're going to lose him. Call the doctor, get this guy back down to the OR.
I almost died in the hospital on a couple occasions. I went into shock after I got out of the operation. The nurse in the ICU freaked out and said, he's dying. I mean, I remember all this stuff.
Kevin was going into shock, and he needed to be treated. And they treated him. And within 10 minutes, he was fine. Or, as fine as he could be. He was stabilized. But yeah, that guy just sort of... Ooh, I've got goosebumps now. It was a tense moment.
It's very fortunate that they could find just where it was and what it was and take care of it before any more damage was done.
I mean, my life flashed before my eyes, but I don't know if on one hand I was calm thinking, well, this is how I was going to die. I remember saying to myself, this is how I'm going to die. Isn't that weird? But I wasn't freaked out about it, which freaked me out even more that I was so calm about it. But then on the other hand, I kept saying, but you're going to get through this, you're going to be fine. It was weird. It was a total, my midlife crisis hit me.
The cause of the aneurysm remained a mystery. Kevin was subjected to a battery of tests.
They took I don't know how many blood samples with me, from me over the next 6 months, and they found nothing wrong with my blood.
Doctors were baffled. Kevin withdrew from a planned film project and took some time off.
This was God's way of basically, you know, tapping me on the shoulder, literally, and saying, it's time for you to slow down your life and look at things in a different way. And it was a huge wake-up call for me.
After 2 months, Kevin returned to the set of Hercules, a different man.
I remember the day that Kevin came in and did his first day back. He was allowed to be on set for an hour and a half, that was all. Walked in, gave a speech, looked at the camera, and it was obviously an effort. That's all he did. And when he finished, the whole crew and everybody just erupted into applause, and there were tears everywhere. And I remember that because everybody realized what he was to the show.
I mean, it was a life and death experience. It really just made me take stock in where I was going with my life and what I was doing with my life.
You know, he was Hercules, and he was kind of superhuman in himself. He was a sportsman and, you know, all this sort of stuff. And suddenly, he wasn't that. Here's the shell that's the superhero, and here's the real Kevin, you know. And he needed to really come to terms with that and build it up again.
Once it was all said and done, he came through it very well, very strong.
He had a lot of time to kind of soul search and spend time thinking about really what's important. And you know, during that time is when he got engaged and got married.
In January 1998, Kevin and Sam married.
Oh, the wedding was great. Kevin likes to say that he would rather have eloped. And we did. We actually planned to elope. We talked about eloping. I called up, you know, chapels in Lake Tahoe or, you know. And I turned to him one day. This was after he got ill. And I said, Kevin, you know, if we elope, your dad can't be there.
We had her immediate family, my immediate family, and 4 of our closest friends. That's it. We had 28 people. I told her that I'd found a church in Europe that I wanted to get married at. And before I even said the name of the church, she knew what church I was talking about, which is one of the many freaky things that we had similar to each other. She found a church similar to it in the Pacific Palisades, a very small church. It was exactly the way I wanted it to be. It was lovely.
With Sam, Kevin finally found balance.
She gave me a life. She showed me that there's more to just work. There's more to just living and breathing this business.
He got a wife, he got a life. Well, you know, he lived, breathed, ate, everything Hercules when he went down there. And he loved it. There was very little that was wrong with that, except that he wasn't getting enough sleep, and he was getting too much stress.
They really, really get along well, and they really have a lot in common. I think she has helped Kevin evaluate for him the things that are important, and that being having a great, strong relationship there and being really grounded in family.
Oh, she's a wonderful girl. We just love her. Great daughter-in-law.
That's right. Just, you know, we can accept her right into our family like she's always been.